what's up? Hope y'all are having a great day. Zach back here again today for Down South Racing, and today kind of a somber mood in the video, but basically I haven't made a video in a long time because I keep saying this. I know I just keep getting setbacks and setbacks. As you can see, my car's parked in the garage, and that is because I ended up actually breaking the transmission here this past weekend. And basically what happened was pretty much just like everyone says, the weak point of the 6R80 is the intermediate shaft. And I made a big pull, and in fourth gear it just went pow, bang. And luckily the car still has first, second, and third gear. From what I understand, those are in the front of the transmission. Could be wrong. If someone knows better than that, by all means, that's great. Inform me, please. Not trying to act like I know everything, but from what I understand, that's what it is. So basically, I was lucky. It happened about 45 minutes from home. Me and my friends had took a little trip to somewhere, and just trying to be a show-off, I guess, and made a big pull, like I said, and, at high rate of speed, the intermediate shaft just went pow, and luckily, like I said, I have the first three gears, so I cruised home at about 50 miles an hour in third gear, about 2,800 RPMs. The 315s helped me out a little bit there, so it wasn't awful, but, it wasn't good. I stopped once, in between, just to, make sure everything was okay. Trans oil temp never went above, what it really normally is, like, mid 180s. That's what it is normally, cruising around. I think it touched 190 once, and that was when I got almost home, but I live on a pretty big hill, so he was obviously working a little hard. So that leads into the next thing, what's the plans for the car, because transmissions are obviously not cheap. I'm thankful that this sounds crazy, but I'm thankful that it was the transmission, not the motor, because the sound it made, I thought I blew the whole thing up. Immediately checked the oil pressure on the gauge, and very lucky that everything is still good. But basically, there's a couple different options I could do. I could get a stock transmission, so to speak, and basically just be exactly where I'm at, or I could build this one, and that's pretty much what I'm gonna choose eventually to do. So I'm gonna have to pull the trans out and send it off, and who I'm going to send it off to is Brett LaSala. Hopefully, if you're familiar with Coyotes, you are familiar with Brett, and basically he's known as the 6R80, 10R80 King. And basically what's going to happen is he's going to go through the trans, make sure everything is okay, but I'm going to do his, I guess, stage 1 or level 1, whatever, build. And that includes a billet intermediate shaft, upgraded clutch packs with 40% more surface area, and a new filter for the transmission, and new seals. And he air tests all shift components once he's done. And, so I won't disclose the price, but if you're interested, obviously you can get a hold of me and I can put you in contact with him. But it's not cheap, but it's not world-ending. But considering I have just now spent about $6,000 or $7,000 on this turbo build, it's gonna take me a day or two just to have the extra cash to do that. Not saying I don't have that, but you got to live as well. And so basically, I'm really lucky that the car drove. Really thankful for that. But that's eventually what's going to happen. I don't have anything planned to do as far as Mustang related wise until March 26th. And that's when I'm going to be headed down to Ponies and the Smokies in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So, that's pretty much what the date I'm shooting for to, for sure have it done. Obviously, before then, from my estimations, about a month from now, end of February, I should have the money. So, and I spoke with Brett, and he says once I ship it to him and he receives it, he can have it headed back to me in 3 days. So I'm going to figure, probably 3 to 5 days getting there, 3 days build, 3 to 5 days getting back. So I'm going to say at worst 2 weeks, at best, a little over a week. But business days wise, probably 2 whole weeks of business day, but so basically that's what happens in these 6R80s is people say that at high speed in fourth gear, above about 650 wheel horsepower, the intermediate shaft can break. Obviously, some people have better luck than me. They've made it a lot longer. But to be fair, this car has never had an easy life, so to speak. I guess when it was first owned by an elderly gentleman for the first 4,000 miles. But since then, the car's, pretty much been beat on every day of its life. I've beat on this thing like it's owed me money, and I can't really exactly complain at all. So, I've been very pleased, and, I was just starting to get the car dialed in. Something I have noticed, the car was making a little bit more boost in this colder weather here in Kentucky. So, it's making 12 pounds of boost versus before it was 10. It does have 12-pound wastegate springs in it, so that's, technically acceptable. But my tuner basically and everyone else I talked to said it's just due to the colder, denser air, you'll make a little bit more boost. And so, 12 pounds of boost. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will know the car received a Siley fuel system. So it is a dual pump Siley return style fuel system I got from my guys at Lethal Performance. Be sure to hit them up for pretty much anything of your Mustang parts needs. They've been super amazing to me. Had a little trouble getting those fuel systems. Ended up talking to Siley personally. They had a fitting on back order for like 22 days. And so it took about 3 weeks for me to get this. So, what can you do? But, I got to enjoy the car for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And now it's going to have to sit, unfortunately. I just got done actually just starting the car up just to let it run because it is on, E85. But, long story short, the car was making very close to 800 wheel horsepower on 12 PSI of boost. And now the car is actually, we fixed our knock sensor issue. It was actually a wastegate dump pipe was actually hitting the block. So move that out of the way, and now our knock sensors are even adding timing. So I believe the car is set to 19 degrees, but it's adding, so 20, or so. And so my tuner figures, 800 wheel horsepower on his dyno. It's known to be pretty accurate. Some people even say it's a little low. I don't care about dyno numbers. I care about what the car does, in real life. And just, I've drove some fast cars. I've drove some 700, 800, 900 wheel horsepower cars. I mean, this thing felt like a rocket ship, guys. I'm not going to lie. And, being automatic kind of makes it feel faster, if that makes any sense. I've let a couple of my buddies ride in it who've had, fast stick shift cars, and they all say, wow. And it's just because the automatic, I think you can focus a little bit more is my take on it. But nonetheless, it was no slouch, whether it made 650 on a dyno or, 550 or 850 or whatever. My guess is between 750 and 800 because the car made 700.1 at 6,300 RPMs on 16 degrees of timing. On the old fuel pump, and we were running out of fuel. So now our injector duty cycle at 6,000 RPM before was 103%. This is just numbers I know. And at 6,000 RPM now we were under 70%. So more than 30% reduction in injector duty cycle at 6,000 RPM. I don't know exactly what remember what he said it was way higher up, but he said, we were good to go on everything. So I keep the fuel system set on just shy of 60 PSI pressure. He recommended 58, but like I said, I've told y'all before, I'm a little OCD, so 60 was basically it, and it normally sits right below it. I was just running the car, and you can see it's gone down a little bit, but it normally sits right about 60 or so. So, basically, I am a built transmission and a drive shaft and some half shafts away from hopefully being able to race this car without much issue. I have considered hopefully maybe turning it down a little bit because, 800 wheel horsepower is no joke. I mean, if it really makes 800 wheel, it probably makes almost 900 crank or better through an auto. So, that's a lot of power. And, don't want to push the motor too hard as, I do not want it to break. These Gen 2s are pretty reliable, but she might get actually turned down to, something like 700 or so. So, that would be just shy, probably 800 crank eventually, whenever I get it back. But I just don't want to break it, just to be honest with you. And it's definitely a major setback to the transmission. But, I was taught a lesson the other day. I posted on Instagram. If y'all didn't see, be sure to follow us, Down South Racing 606. But basically, my childhood hero the other day, Kobe Bryant, and his daughter, along with 7 others, were killed in a helicopter crash. And, this was the same day that this broke, so it was a very bad day for me. But that definitely taught me the lesson of, not to complain about things that can be replaced because, no matter pretty much what happens to this car, this side of totaling it, things can be replaced. Turbos can be replaced, intercooler can be replaced, motor could be replaced, injectors, wheels, tires, panels, whatever. That crap can be replaced, and that's honestly what it is. It's crap. I love it. I'm very thankful for cars. They've, taken me places I never imagined I would go. I've met people I never imagined I would meet, but that was just the lesson I took away from it is, don't be angry over things that can be replaced. If Kobe's family and, the others, if they could replace them, they wouldn't be upset, but that's why it's upsetting when you lose people, is because, you never get to say anything to them ever again. You never get to talk to them. You can't have them back. Unfortunately, that's the way life works. It sucks, but it just is. And so, just knowing what kind of person Kobe was, he was known for his Mamba mentality. He would want us to, persevere on, and celebrate life, but also understand that life is very delicate. And so, that's pretty much the lesson I've taken away from that. I don't mean to bore you all with that. I'm sure you all are not all basketball fans, but I grew up playing basketball, still play basketball, and it's part of my life, and so are cars. But that's pretty much my takeaway on everything. But like I said, it's going to take me, a little over a month to get this back. So hopefully you're going to see some different content on the channel. If you can see over here, just ended up putting 32s on my Talon and a spare tire. And so now instead of the stock 28s, the machine sits about 2 inches higher, fully enclosed cab now. So might do some of that stuff, but obviously a lot of my other friends, they have cars. So I need to still do a video on Jared's car, his updates. And, my buddy Tanner has a C7 vet now, so I'd like to do some updates on stuff like that, maybe do some reviews. But I'm going to try to put out a little bit of content in between then and now. If y'all have any questions, feel free to, ask me. As far as the turbo kit, knock on wood, it seems to be holding up just fine. Still looks good. I think the intercooler looks mean being all blacked out. But, yeah, so pretty much, guys, I'm going to have to find somewhere to take this transmission out because I'm going to have to take the turbos off, which sucks. And so I don't want to have to pay, a lot in labor just to try to keep the cost as low as I can. And it's something that me and some friends can do. And so we just got to find a lift. And so basically once that happens, the car will just be pushed out of the way. Trans will be sent off. And like I said, within a week or two, hopefully at worst, get it back. Probably have some professional help putting it back in or, get someone to do it. But, as far as taking it out, shouldn't be too big of an issue and sending it off. But, yeah, that's just pretty much my life and car update for now. She is down, but, she got me home, so, always thankful for that. And like I said, guys, stuff can be replaced, parts can be replaced. And, honestly, the transmission was going to go anyways. We knew it was going to go at this power level. At some point, we had just kind of hoped it would make it a little longer, maybe get it to race season. But, it's God's plan, not ours. And, you can't question his timing, even though sometimes you want to. You want to ask why. But, we're just not supposed to do that. And that's pretty much what I'm trying to do right now, trying to stay positive and just pretty much just let things be, let them happen. But, I got to say I'm very pleased with the Siley fuel system. And so, it was not difficult to put in. My buddy Will, he actually ended up helping me put it in. So, big shout out to him as always. But it's pretty simple, guys, honestly. I mean, it's literally, there's a fitting there, fitting here, attaches to this hose, goes into your regulator. You got your boost reference line, and then you got your return line right there. So, and it comes with a stock, like a stock style of hat, just modified for 2 pumps. And basically, you just have your Lethal Performance pre-wired, return style harness that Siley modifies for his use. And there's a couple grounds and a couple wires you got to connect on the what do they call them? The FICM fuel and basically fuel control module. And, it's near where your fuel pump is there back under your seat. So, it took us about 2 hours, just kind of going. There's instructions on Lethal's website. And we got it done. And I think the only other thing is there's a main power wire. You can kind of see it sneaking right there. It comes up to the battery. But honestly, guys, a really simple, clean install. It's not really super loud. They prime just like the stock pumps, which is, I think, their goal. But, other than that, guys, the only thing I'm going to be doing with the car is just letting it run for, a few minutes at a time, 10, 15 minutes every couple days. That way I can, just keep it going, don't want to let the battery die. Don't want to let the ethanol sit too long because it is on E85. But, it was a good time, guys. I'm not going to lie. So, speed is addictive. And, I love it. So, you always got to be careful. But, I'm hoping she'll be back better than ever. And basically, we'll be good to go. It's funny. I keep telling my girlfriend this because she keeps giving me crap about it. But, like when I built the car, I was like, okay, well, I can't wait to get a drive shaft in, and then we'll go to the track. Originally the car was on 93, making 6 to 650, wheel horsepower. And I was like, all right, we'll take it to the track. And then, drive shaft will probably break next. And drive shaft axles are still intact, I guess. But it's just another thing, the fuel pump went out, so I had to order a $1,000 fuel system. Seems like I can't catch a break, but again, like I said, you can't question what happens. You just kind of got to roll with the punches, and that's what I'm doing. So, come race season, we'll have her together one way or another, and, we'll be back out at the track, trying to maybe see what she can do. Like, at this power level, it's probably going to go, low 10s. I did see Mustang Lifestyle. They built a S550 car with stock trans, stock converter, and that was a TVS-style car, a VMP Gen 3R. And it made 767 on like a big fat set of radials. So definitely 800 plus wheel horsepower car. And it ended up going like 9.6. So a TVS car obviously is going to have the hit over a turbo car. So, you know, he's definitely got a 60 foot better than me. But, you know, I should have like mid-range, top end. You know, I do have small turbos, but I do have a ported 18 manifold, and it seems to do quite well. So, you know, again, it's just, it'll be what it'll be. We might go 9s, probably not up here in Kentucky in this crap air, but, you know, like I said, we'll just see. It's always a work in progress, so, but I wanted to update you guys, and so, yeah, so broken trans, gonna get sent out. I'll do a video, you know, whenever that happens, but, you know, in the meantime, I just want to let y'all know there's not going to be a crazy amount of content on this car, but if y'all continue to support me, definitely helps out, you know, my fundage, and, you know, I don't care about that. It's not why I do YouTube, but it definitely helps. So, you know, if y'all don't care, drop this video a like, comment down below about your winter projects, what all y'all got going on, and if you want to see anything, you know, let me know. If you got a car you'd like for me to review, hit me up. Like I said, Down South Racing 606 on Instagram, and you can message me on there, and I typically reply within the day, and so we'll get something set up. But guys, once again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the continued support. Until next time, I don't know when I'm going to, you know, do a video on this again, but like I said, I'll keep y'all updated, so we'll just have to see. But guys, once again, hope y'all are having a great day. Till next time, peace.